Well, I'm not happy. There's no Syril this week. I've been a big fan of this show for the past 3 episodes, but there's no Syril. Bonjour. Right, I'm only joking. There wasn't any Syril, but I've got to say, and this will only be I've got to say, I'm enjoying this show. I'm in. What they've done with these last few episodes of this show, I'm going to call it a shaky start, and then once we got to the kind of these prison episodes, I've got to admit, and I'm really enjoying Andor. It gets to at the beginning where, you know, you've got Cassian still trying to convince Andy Serkis that, you know, escape is the only option, and it's still taking him a little while. There's still that little bit more convincing that he needs, and then when he does realise, there's a moment in it when he realises, and there's just a scene that's been building up, where his character, Aquino, is it, where he just says to the men, stands at the ledge of his cell and says, yeah, there's no escape. There's no escape. But the darkness of the prison, not the literal darkness, I mean the claustrophobia and the tension they've built up, the payoff in this episode is better than the payoff of the heist. I think the heist was very standard. This is proper sci-fi. It might be standard sci-fi, if you was going to be really critical of it, but I'm really looking forward to the episodes each week, and that says it all for me. The other criticism you can level at it, is it very Star Wars? Well, no, but we do want the stories on the fringes, don't we? And previous episodes have had enough little elements of it for me anyway. And we did get some pew action this week, because during the escape they've obviously got to get the guards' weapons and all that. They're just like Star Wars blasters. And some of the battle scenes did remind me, with the white clinical looks, it did remind me of Empire Strikes Back a little bit, which was enough Star Wars for me. But the build up to this episode, escaping the prison, I just really enjoyed it. And you know, we all knew it was coming, and we all knew what they were building up to, and they delivered. No subverting expectations, no silliness, just deliver it, mate. And they did. The only thing left unresolved for me is surely this can't be the way Kino, it ends for that character. I think it's Kino. Sorry if I'm getting it wrong. I know it was Andy Serkis. I'm not listening to the names. I can't believe that he just says I can't swim and that's it. Can't believe that. I was thinking, don't know about anyone else, that I was thinking that he was going to get it during the escape, because although he's been the kind of the big bad in a way in the prison, and Cassian's had to kind of turn him, I thought, oh, now he's finding redemption and helping Cassian and all the others escape, he's going to get it, that's going to be the sacrifice. But no, they didn't. So I suppose in a way that's subverting my expectations. But I can't say I'm happy, but I don't believe that that's the last we're going to see of that character. Surely he's too powerful to just cast aside. The other good thing with this episode was with the Sven scenes, and that they've been with Mon Mothma, which the Mon Mothma scenes, I know they're going somewhere with it, but they only lasted a few minutes in this week's episode. So I was happy with that, because they are the weakest. They're the weakest scenes. That's the weakest character with the weakest scenes and the weakest arc, if you've got to point fingers. But do you know what? They showed that they had those scenes. They dedicated the right amount of minutes, really, which wasn't many. So even that I was happy with. But the other outstanding thing in this episode was with the Sven scenes and the dark underbelly of the rebellion, like in those early days. Now I know that's where the Mon Mothma scenes are at, with trying to, you know, sort finances out and be a bit moody and all that. And I did like the way that they handled the script. If you've ever needed to be moody with other people in the accountancy world, then that script was solid. I did find it engaging, but not for me in ANDOR. You know, might have been all right in say Layer Cake or Lock Stock or something like that. That kind of talk. But yeah, that dark underbelly. But it kind of reminded me of Blade Runner. It was all beautifully done. Production design on this show has been, like I say, every week has been good as far as I'm concerned. And like, it seems like my reviews are getting shorter and shorter and shorter each week, because all I'm saying is, oh yeah, it's well good. But because they are elongated and because of the format which we have discussed before, it does mean that, yes, I am enjoying them, but, well, this week something did happen, like something huge, humongous. They escaped the prison. And yes, I do put spoilers on the video, so on the thumbnail, so just a spoiler. But yeah, this is the prison break. So it was a mega episode, and they did devote, I would say, 90% of the time to it. And it was good. They didn't. It's a shame, really, because in some series they linger over characters we haven't got to know when they die. But in this episode, they kind of threw away a few of the characters that we'd come in their group, on their table. You know, 2 or 3 of them die, and I thought, oh, they just kind of step over them on the way out. And I thought that was a bit, if I'm going to nitpick, I thought, oh, that was a shame. Not, you know, A, that they've died, and B, that they didn't really give them a decent send-off, whether it was getting hold of one of the guards' feet while they was on the, and they'd get, you know, a proper close-up, get something gruesome going on, or whether or not they made the ultimate sacrifice to get a group, you know, to save the group, or whatever it was. Do you know what I mean? And they just went pew pew and they was dead. But other than that, there's not really a lot I've got against it, because I'm really enjoying it as it rolls along. This episode particularly, because obviously it was a payoff episode. Now we've got 2 episodes. They should be. There's no beginning, middle and end arc. That kind of, that formatting theory with what, you know, trying to explain why some episodes are slow and all that, which I agree with, but I disagree that they should do that. Really, that goes out the window, because I think we've got only 2 episodes. I think there's 12 episodes to this. So, but anyway, I've been enjoying it, and well, I will see you again next week, because I'm pretty sure I'll be. They've got to drop a long way for me not to enjoy this show now, all the way to the end. And I know he can't die, because this is the prequel to a prequel to a prequel. But I think they've got enough going on now to build up. Next, you know, as I'm saying it, and I don't do too much deep research into what's coming on and listen to rumours and go on all the Star Wars channels and all that. I'd rather the show come at me. Now I'm thinking about it, maybe next week's going to be one of them really boring setup episodes to set up the last one. I hope not. Because they're out of the walking and talking and sitting down, dismal minus crap that they normally do, this group that are doing ANDOR. They was guilty of it in some of them episodes on Aldani. Oh, did I remember that? Woohoo! They was guilty of that. That was typical dismal minus. But these other episodes have not been. They've had a kind of a quintessentially sci-fi, even 1970s sci-fi feel to these prison episodes that I have loved. So I hope they don't spoil it now with the next episode by just you know, giving us another you can move things along without just walking and talking. You know, let's move it along with some action, eh? Because it is moving pictures. That's why I used to call it the movies. I know this is TV we're talking about, but you understand what I mean. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there because it's good and I've got no more whinging to do or praising. So I will bid you adios.